Welcome back to The Grind. In this video, we are going to break down how to play SheHulk. SheHulk is not that intellectually complex to figure out, but the skills and timing required to maximize SheHulk do take a little bit of practice. I am not a SheHulk expert, but I will break down the tips and tricks that I use and that I'm working on to increase my effectiveness with SheHulk. SheHulk does not need to be awakened in order to get the high damage output that she has access to. If you want to take a look at her awakened ability, she gets a different advantage against each different class of opponent, and you can take a look at that. Basically, SheHulk is able to stack up these passive furies, which of course increases her damage output. You can see on some of these crits, she's dealing over 4,000 with light attacks only at 10 furies. The problem is if you can't get them to use a special attack before they expire, you lose all the stacks, as you see I lost here. And then your damage output goes down a lot more and you have to start ramping up again. So SheHulk is most ideal against champions that have a very quick and easy to evade special 1 attack. If it takes a really long time to finish their attack, or if their first special attack is difficult for you to evade, you're not going to want to bait that one out as much, and it'll be a lot harder for you to continue to refresh those furies in order to build them up for some high damage. The other thing to consider is the larger the champion is, the longer the furies last, so the more time you have to bait out a special. So you can see it can sometimes be tedious if the AI is playing more defensive and not as free with the special attacks. The other thing about this fight is Immortal Abomination's special 1 is a little bit longer than most champions, so it does use up a lot of the fury's duration just to finish the animation of the special attack. Once you get into a rhythm, you can start to stack up those furies quite nicely. And you want to get into the habit of using your special attack in order to get them over their first special limit, as well as holding off on using a special attack if their energy is a little too high. If they do not quite have 1 bar of power, and neither do you, you can do 4 attacks, dash back, and then try to dash in again and intercept. Depending on the champion you're fighting, this does work quite well if they are a little bit more aggressive. Otherwise, you might want to dash back and then parry and then go back in for another attack to start to build up their energy. And there you could see at 13 stacks, that was over 8,000 medium attack. The timing of when you use your special attack also depends on the fury stacks. You can see here that I start to notice the furies are getting low, and I could chain on a special attack, but instead I back out here and try to bait out his special attack so that it can refresh my fury stacks, allowing me more time. Then I can go in and use my special attack to push him over another bar of power, and look at that damage with those 10 stacks. It really does add up, and that's only 10 to 15 stacks that I'm working with. You can get significantly more. Now watch this combo of crits: 12, 8, 8, 13, 11,000, and 11,000 on that special 1 following that combo. But that's really all it takes to build up SheHulk's damage, is getting used to SheHulk timing, as well as the opponents that you're fighting to work with their special attacks and their mechanics, as far as if you can dash out and back in to chain on that intercept and then push them up over a bar with your special attack. In addition to the damage output, SheHulk is poison immune, which is very nice to go up against some of the lanes or champions or buffs that result in poison damage. So SheHulk is a great choice for that. And again, she's most ideal against large or extra large champions that have easy to evade and quick animation special 1 attacks. Red Hulk is a good example of a champion that SheHulk works great against because that special 1 is very quick and easy to evade. Now, I didn't specifically outline how you get these furies. There is a chance to build them with each basic attack, as well as you get a fury with every special 1 attack that you throw. And you can see that you don't always get a fury with a full 5-hit combo, but you can see here's 1 on that hit, and then when I activate the special 1, I get another, and even another one on the last hit of that special. Now, once you really get ramped up, you can see the medium doing 11 and the light attack doing 7,000, and that last hit of the special one did over 21,000 damage. And look at those mediums. Now, I'm going to get hit here, and that's going to actually put me into a higher damage output region. So I'm getting close to 13,000 on the light attack or the medium attacks, and 8,000 on the light attacks, and that's with 20 fury stacks. Now 10,000 on that medium attack, and when the special one crits, you do see some significant damage. See, those medium attacks are now doing 16,000 and the light attacks 10,000, and we're not even at the cap of the furies. I'm not sure what the cap is, but look at that 28,000 hit on that special attack, and you can keep stacking up those furies quite a bit further than the 20s as long as you can continue to get those refreshes on the fury stacks by baiting out opponent special attacks. But that is just her damage. She also has some great utility. She has very easy access to a slow debuff, which removes and prevents activation of Unstoppable. Now, it's not just Unstoppable, it's also useful in matches against champions who evade, which we'll take a look at shortly as well. The Unstoppable will not apply on activation of the special attack if a slow debuff is active. And if you use special 2, you have access to a Petrify debuff, which helps to limit power gain and healing effects, which is also very useful in several situations. Here's another example of removing the Unstoppable buff with a heavy attack. What's also good to know is that you cannot be interrupted with your heavy attack. So you can see I messed up with that one, but because the animation was still going, he did not get a combo on me and I was able to block. Now let's take a look at how we counter evade. Once you apply the slow debuff, the champion will not evade. And this is extremely useful against a lot of matchups or buffs or nodes within all the various quests that we have available to us. Now you'll see as soon as that slow goes away, if I continue to attack, the evade will of course trigger and then you get wrecked. With this very easy access to the slow debuff, it makes SheHulk a very good counter to the Act 6 champion boss. This of course is not the boss, but it is the champion, which I'm using as an example. So you can easily counter his heavy attacks and his special attacks with heavy attacks to apply the slow debuff, which will prevent the champion from going unstoppable during the fight, which is a very annoying mechanic to have to work around, but SheHulk makes it a lot easier to deal with. And what is great is that you can refresh it at any time. It does not have to expire before applying it again, and you can just refresh the duration. So I do hope this video was helpful in understanding how SheHulk works and some of her utility. Let me know in the comments what you think of SheHulk and what she has been able to do for you, and I hope to see you in the next video.